Officials in Oklahoma dig up 14 bodies for a second time in the hope of using DNA to identify more victims of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. 19 bodies previously exhumed to identify victims of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre are being removed again to gather DNA. Once dubbed the Black Wall Street, the area was set on fire, destroying businesses and killing hundreds of residents in a racially motivated attack. No one has ever been charged for those crimes. We're joined now from Tulsa, Oklahoma by R.J. Young, author of Requiem for the Massacre, which recounts the history of the Greenwood District. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us here on BBC News. For our viewers who aren't aware of this case almost 100 years ago, well, over 100 years ago now, just give us the background to it.
We are 100 years removed from the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, which is considered one of the great domestic terrorist acts in the United States. And now we are at a point in our history where we are trying to find out just how many people were killed. And one of the ways in which we've tried to do that is uncover this unmarked grave that had gone, well, unexhumed for 100 years. And we're dealing with the fallout of those consequences.
Why now exactly? What was the driver for this to all happen in 2021, 2022?
The centennial. There was lots of discussion around what would happen in Tulsa around the centennial of the massacre. How would we reckon with that tragedy 100 years on? And our mayor, G.T. Bynum, decided it was time to follow through on what was considered an urban legend and a myth, to dig up a very specific place called Oak Lawn Cemetery to find out just if there were people that were buried there in unmarked graves and how many of those people there are.
And how is that going at the moment? What is the situation?
Well, digging started in October 2020, and as we are set for another dig that will end on November 18th, 35 coffins have been uncovered, and there has been lots of discussion and analysis that goes into just who those people are and what their connection to Tulsa is, which is, I think, the crux of, well, our story now, just trying to figure out who those people are and if, in fact, they are victims of the massacre, which seems kind of wild when you take a look at the details. 14 of the 19 are going to be re-exhumed after having once been exhumed and sent to a place called Intermountain Forensics in Salt Lake City, Utah, to try to identify them through DNA. But this is also a problem in the city of Tulsa, particularly for Black folks, as we are not inclined to want to give up our DNA for a genetic database that might be accessed, would be accessed ostensibly by law enforcement and used in criminal investigations, apart from this one investigation that's very important to the city of Tulsa, that is to identify who these people are, find out who their family members are, and allow them a proper burial.
You talk about the importance to the city. A century on, how does this case resonate with people who still live their lives in Tulsa at the moment?
It is one that is ongoing disbelief, in that I myself need to explain to many folks that, one, this did happen. Two, we still don't know who is responsible specifically. And three, we're still uncovering just how many people died, were killed during this massacre. And this particular instance is one great example of just what that means. It also is showing that we haven't reconciled much of anything in the city of Tulsa. There are 3 survivors who are suing the city of Tulsa and the state for reparations. And that case is moving through the court systems at a very slow pace, which feels macabre because those 3 survivors are 100 plus years old. And they probably do not have much longer in this life to seek justice. And I would like to see them seek justice, hear justice in their lifetime. And as we continue to go through our lives in the city of Tulsa and having to have this question over our head about just what we lost, it feels unfair, it feels rude, it feels frankly un-American.
R.J. Young joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights.